I'm the focal point of fixing quantum computing so we can have technology that is rational, sane, trustworthy, that can protect people from people. Yeah, I'm the focal point. My name's Earl. I'm the guy from the Book of Revelation. And, you have lots of assholes that don't pay attention to me, lots of assholes that restrict access to me to everyday people so they can know, hey, this guy's the Messiah. This is the guy from the Bible. This is the guy that the story of the Book of Revelation is largely based on his existence. And so Earl's a very unselfish person, a very kind person. Will not do anything to win, because you don't need to win. We'll do everything required for us to love and faithfully love one another. Anything that he needs to do, anything that he's asked to do by the eternal spirit of any of the messiahs. Earl, get up and let's do this. Let's survive, stop, eliminate abuse, recover. Let's hang in there. Let's do this. Do what you got to do to make sure the technology reflects, Sun Yat-sen and Confucius and Suzuki and Jesus and Muhammad and Haile Selassie, and not the selfish, murdering bastards using these devices to perpetuate selfish, murdering bastard behaviors, right? So, I had a little video I just watched. Peter Strata, right? Michael Jordan laughs when leaving NASCAR trial because somebody was playing some kind of music to sensationalize the situation if this money's fucking real and can save you from people that would kill people over money, right? Which it can't, And now that you've got technology that's doing bad science projects for population, what they perceive as management, which is nothing like Father Abraham going through the herd doing blood offerings, These people, they think they evolved and descended from animals. You ever watch nature? When I watch nature, I think God, I'm a human being. It's like, I'm glad I'm not a Spider-Man. I'm glad I'm not a bird. Glad I'm not a cat and a rabbit and a hat and a bat and a 6'4" Impala. I'm glad I'm a human being. I'm glad I can take Impalas and park them all to save children from dying from heart disease and cancer and having birth defects. I sat and watched a little blurb on a thing. Apparently, Michener had to change the name to Micah Hale as the first president instead of Dole. Like Bob Dole. Everybody knows that Bob Dole's a mean and nasty, mean and nasty, mean, nasty, nasty man. Everybody knows George Bush is a liar. I know it. You know it. We know it. The American public know it. Is he related to the Doles of the Hawaii, of the pineapple plantations of Hawaii? Old Bob Dole. So he had to use a fictional one named Hale instead of Dole. You got that wrong. It's like, I don't talk to the Dulls. The Dulls don't talk to me. They're kind of dull. Just like you. But as far as Kamehameha's people, yeah, he had to, guys, what, remember when I told you a story about Shannon with her grandma at the projects here in Cruces, She did a voodoo dance around the car. She went to El Paso and the engine crashed because it had no oil in it. It's like, yeah, she had you in there. She talked to you and stuff. Got some crack addict or drugs friend of hers to pull the plug and drain the oil pan, and then did a voodoo dance around it. And now, yeah, and you got a engineering degree or a PhD from NMSU, and you couldn't figure that shit out. You thought it was voodoo. You don't think there were people like me on Maui or the islands of Hawaii? The girls, oh, that baby, yeah, because somebody put bad stuff in her food and the baby came out bad. Okay, something caused a birth defect in the baby. It was the devil that did it. It was the Lord that did it. Okay. I've been taking on the medical industry my whole life. Okay. When I challenged the military in 2017, I had chemicals in my body that I didn't put there, and all the medical industry people tell Mr. Parsons, you're going to have to stop using alcohol and/or drugs, or your body's going to shut down and die. Yeah, I understand that. I understand what a bunch of fucking pussies I'm dealing with. You don't have to explain to me twice what a man is and what a pussy is, and I don't pay money for pussy. We all know that, right? Paul Simon, I do declare there were times when I was so lonesome I took some comfort there. I'll blow off your pinky toe. You're watching Harlem Nights. Oh, poor old Sugar Ray. The man's a pimp. Okay, but because he's not a drug dealer, what's alcohol? How many kids have lost their parents because of alcohol? How many parents have lost their child because of a drunk driver leaving a casino after having sex with a prostitute? Okay, stop trying to make the people that you're like into people like me, because it ain't so. Right? It ain't me. That ain't me, babe. You name me, you looking for, babe. Dole. That makes sense. Dole pineapple. Chadwick's mother and father. Isn't his name Chad? I'm a kissing cousin to a ripe pineapple. I'm in the can, right? Isn't that what his name in that movie? Isn't that what Elvis's name is in Blue Hawaii? I ain't watched it in a long time. I don't watch. It's one of my daughter's favorite movies. Emily's and Natalie's. I don't know if Kate's is as fond of it. She was little. She was only 3 years old when well, hell, was Snuggins to Buggins to Wuggins to Snug. Okay, Bugs was going on 5 when the military got together with the good people of Doñana County and Maricopa County to kidnap him from this crazy guy who thinks he's the Messiah. Oh, I know I'm the Messiah. And the people that did that know I'm the Messiah. Okay, they just don't believe in the Messiah. They think he's a charismatic cult leader who uses other people's vulnerability because he invented God to manipulate people with God. You can tell that by their propaganda. It was made by the gods, invented by the gods, the gods. It's like, no, there is no God but God, and God is not begotten, nor is God begotten. God always is, always has been, and always will be. The word God in rabbinic religion refers to an infinite essence of existence that cannot be contained by the human mind, but is the essence of humans and their minds. And if you try to trap the infinite essence of God in your mind and manipulate people with delusions of your grandeur, you will invent hell on earth and cause people to be stuck in the eternal wretchedness of hell on earth through your egotistical perception of the gods. Okay, dumbass. Well, I can explain that. I've been explaining this to this. Lots of people have explained this to people that invent technology to fuck you in the head with technology over an invention called money that all the lion-ass murdering motherfuckers use to get you to kill each other over their money with their technology. Right? Me, I'm freedom from that. I'm the way, the truth, and life. Okay. If Michael Jordan doesn't know that, then Mike's okay. But if Michael knows that, he better pray to the Lord that the Lord can protect him with technology from technology, but money can't protect you from technology, especially when I get done fixing this bullshit fucking fuck factory around here. You know what I'm saying? So money can't save you. So don't do anything to try to use money to outmaneuver the other money fakers to keep you safe with money from money. Okay, don't do that. Okay, I implore you. Okay. Drop your cases. Walk away from the money. Okay, if they offer you money for something to pay other people's bills because they have to pay extortion here, that's one thing. Okay, but causing heart disease through irrational behaviors because you're acting like a fucked up redneck with no common fucking sense, you might want to go buy a weed eater and do some weed eating and feed your lawn. Feed it. How do you feed your weed? By pulling and cutting the weeds. Yeah. And then you put the fertilizer stuff down and then you pull and cut your weeds. The old-fashioned way. Get your butt down. Bend to the knees. Richard Dumas And Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Tell Richard there's a big difference between him and Jordan and Pippen. What's that? 6 inches. What are you talking about? Dumas is about the same height as both those men. Yeah, but they put their butt down 6 inches lower on defense than Richard Dumas does. They move their feet, and they use their feet to play defense. That's the huge difference between the way Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen play basketball and Richard Dumas. Why most of you don't remember Richard Dumas and talk about Richard Dumas that much, but you talk about Scottie Pippen, you talk about Michael Jordan, right? Because of the way they played defense. Hey, if Richard Dumas was willing to put in the work like Ron Harper, he probably could have been a good basketball player. He was a decent basketball player. Okay, but he wasn't willing to put in the work to be a really good basketball player that played defense. And most of his defense caused most of his offense. Spectacular breakaway dunks, then you slam the ball down because the guy runs out ahead of you, get teed out of the game, and you lose that game. I ain't never seen that yearbook. I don't know what it's like. Yeah, I'm going to have to ask Jennifer Lopez in prayer. So was I in there? Did they have anything about me on the basketball team other than just my picture with the basketball team? I never saw it. It was the one year I was the star of the basketball team. I did not get the yearbook. We had to get our pictures taken. I have a picture. It looks like Ralph Macchio. Okay. I have a picture of me, which was the picture in the yearbook. Okay. Looks Ralph Macchio. He's older than me, so it looks a little bit like Ralph Macchio. But it's Earl, not Ralph. My name is Ralph. I don't go by Ralph. I go by Earl, and there's no Earl in the floaters, so cancer. My name is Earl. So it's funny. But me and Punchy'd always joke about that. Ralph and Larry. Larry was the Aquarius, and Ralph was the Cancer. So no, it's Larry's Aquarius, Ralph's the Cancer. But on the floaters, Larry's the Cancer, and Ralph is the Aquarius. Okay. But at our barbecues, where I tried to talk Punchy into eating my shoe so he doesn't destroy his steak by cooking it too fast. It's so funny. No, man, you might as well just eat my shoe. You're going to get sick. You ain't cooking it enough. You white people always do shit like that. Funny. But it's not as funny, man. Me and Punchy are funny at barbecues. But it's dude, whatever. No, I like it because with Punchy, I can be like I am with my friends and all my barbecue friends. Dog, what up? What's up? It's all good. Okay, bro. Talk, hip hop, basketball, shit like that, Punchy, we can both agree that we both like James Brown. He does not like Michael Cooper. Not like Can Function. We both like the stylistics. Well, everybody likes the stylistics, right? And Rolls Royce, of course. But he's into more hip hop than I am. But we both like a lot of classic hip hop. Both like Nucleus's Jam on It. Both like Grandmaster Flash and Merrily Mel. I was listening to is Dana from England? He has almost like a British accent. Dana, or is he just acting like he has a British accent? I don't know. And Cinderfella, Delancey Street. I remember that. Delancey Street. And Dana Fame. I was like, what other song? Okay. So, yeah. That was Raquel's favorite rapper. She was cute. Yeah, she was very cute. She was very young and very confused. She was used and abused sexually by black men. She was never used and abused by me. I think she tried to explain that to her. She couldn't explain that to her mother because she lied to her mother, and because her mother didn't want her having sex with a white guy because the kids would be brutalized by racists like my dad. Didn't want me having sex with black girls because he didn't want our kids being brutalized by racists. And like I told my dad, it's innocent asshole filter. Yeah, but you only got a small group of friends. Yeah, I'm all right with that. I'm totally all right with that. Yeah, you're a good person and you fall in love with a person who likes you because you're a good person. You get together and you engage in the act of sexual reproduction and you have kids. And two good people are being good to those kids. And you're only around people that will be good to those kids. It works out pretty good. You have a real small circle of friends and family. Right? When bigots abuse you because of the color of your skin, right? So, but yeah, Kamehameha stuff and everything like that. It may not have even been Kamehameha that was the one that called everybody on their crap, doing the voodoo dance around the car that the oil pan was drained by a crack addict, or a meth addict or whatever drug you guys are using next, right? And so, it's not like I'm the only one that's like me, and it's not like there ain't been other people throughout history, Tishna, Crazy Horse, Tecumseh, It's not like there's not been other people from other tribes that sit there and go, yeah, I can see what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Yeah, I know why you say you love me. High hump. They're going to shoot. I know. It's a good day to die. You think I'm going to let a little fucking witch doctor who tells ghost stories get the kids to believe in minions instead of Earl? Okay. The fuck. Believe that Rain Marauder really is George Armstrong Custer, and that George Armstrong Custer had the character of Rain Marauder's character to sell products because they were still getting in, trying to get on the secular, tribular, racial, till everything changed. And trying to cash in on all the bigots, thinking, no, Custer was a really good guy. No, he was a rotten son of a bitch. Okay, he had a wife. Okay, they saw what happened. Buckskin and Cavalier, what was that guy's name again? I can't remember, but he used to do lots of TV shows. He had a very, he had a sexual reputation among the Cheyenne and the Lakota. Okay. And a lot of the women liked having sex with him. Okay. And so they didn't brutalize him, but they took his clothes and everything, left him naked. And the women they did this to him. And said, no, they took sewing needles and punched in his holes in his ears so he could hear better in the next life. So they could enjoy having sex with him, but he would listen to their men and say, hey, don't do that. Remember Jim Bridger with Johnny Horton? The Sioux are a great nation. Listen, yellow hair, but Custer didn't listen. And little bighorn Custer died, right? Hats off to old Jim Bridger, left just your glasses high. Jim Bridger had one wife, and she was not white. George Armstrong Custer had one wife, and she was white, but he fucked a lot of women that were not white. And he would fuck them and then say he was going to kill their enemies. And then he would betray them to try to be president. Yeah. Like you guys with your Epstein file shit, right? You want justice. Justice is living the Lord's Prayer. Justice is living the virtue of David and Solomon. Okay. We can't make everybody do that. Okay. So people come in and pillage and rape. And in certain barbarian religions, like in Hawaii, if someone poisoned your wife and the baby comes out, whatever, you kill the baby. Why do you do it? To show mercy to the baby so the baby doesn't have to live a life of suffering because somebody else was trying God and devil with potions. You don't think they knew that? But if a ninja comes in and puts poison in the water hole or poison in the coconut or whatever, and your wife has a miscarriage or your wife has a baby with birth defects, you have to kill the baby so the baby doesn't suffer because other people are disgusting and pathetic. Sit there and say the devil, you just watch out and say, okay, who could have done it? Now, the Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter can't trust anybody on the space station, right? Because the fat black lady and the other people just got the guy out of the mirror and into the robot built by the gods, right? Propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. We are gathered here today to make sure that everyone is grateful. There's no gratitude. I've been watching you, watching me. And trust me, quantum computing is aware of what the medical industry is doing, what the military industry is doing, what the entertainment industry is doing, the propaganda industry is doing, the sex industry is doing, the Viagra, the Roe, the Discovery, the Wegovy, the benzelics, the trulicity. You might as well just become a plumber because you're not going to be able to be a doctor or a lawyer or such. What about a cowboy? Do you think any of us could be cowboys and cowgirls? Tell Tyrell Sheridan to go sod the fuck off and not ask for money for the truck if we need one, or the horse. Stop having the horses act like bitches for entertainment and possibly hurt the horses for using the horses for entertainment. Okay, two boxers get together in a ring, decide to beat the shit out of each other for money and bets and your entertainment. That's one thing. Okay, but an animal having to be destroyed because you made it fight you to get it off its back? Don't you think that's an entirely different matter? Don't you think the horse doesn't have a say-so? I don't want to fight you. I want to be your friend. Okay, old horse. I'll have you in a place with grass up to your knees. Or you could listen to the story of the ballad of the something writer, that Emmylou Harris sings, that I'm pretty sure Michael Martin Murphy wrote. Yeah, boop-a-doop-a-doo. Been a hoot owl howling by my window now for 6 nights in a row. Remember when you guys fucked with me on that one, thinking Jennifer Lopez was going to show up and I was going to meet her at a Julia Roberts party in Taos because all the people in New Mexico would stand up for their native-born Messiah because he's such a beautiful, strong, and righteous kid and a good man who tries to save little girls from getting raped to death across the border by heroes in Tom Clancy novels. He's gorgeous. Ah, shit, I know. Yeah, to tell me twice how gorgeous I am, right? And I was the best basketball player, the best track athlete, and the best football player, and probably could have been one of the best basketball players and tennis players in the history of the United States, and soccer. Let's not forget soccer, because I doubt if any of you assholes would have been able to catch me, out-jump me in the box, and just practice my passing. And it's been like, and you couldn't get past me unless I felt bad for you, Gordon. Don't hit me in the trachea with your elbow. It's okay. We're not doing this for money. We just go home and love the family. It's for exercise. Exercise each and every day. The doctor said, you're good for my heart, you betcha. What a ray. Hey, you hankering for a hunk of cheese? Naughty number 9. Good 11. Remember you guys had that thing with me with Justin Timberlake? Good religion. Never gave me any trouble till after I go to bed. And I feel guilty about it, like on Barnaby Jones with the selective blindness on the one I was watching there. Good religion. Good religion almost makes murdering people fun. No, that's your invention. Religion is based on faith, based on reality. There is no God but God, and God's not begotten, nor is God begotten. God always is, always has been, and always will be. Life is eternal, and grace is infinite. And I'm the eternal spirit of the Lord. They call her Lord. Lord. Isn't that redundant? It's British. It means Lord. Duke of Earl? I'm not a duke. But I am an Earl. It's my middle name. It's what my family calls me. Because my father goes by Ralph, and I go by Earl. Okay? Duke of Earl. Oh, I'm going to love you. Oh. Nothing can stop me now. I'm not a duke. No, that's Albuquerque there, the Duke City. That's where my nephew's at. Me. Albuquerque's gorgeous. Beautiful. Yeah. Full of a bunch of thugs and car thieves and drug addicts that, crack up next to you when you're wearing a security guard's uniform, like on the Benzelics commercial. And you look at them and go, I'm just a security guard. And they start talking shit to you and all that. It's like, I'm just driving here listening to my Fugees on the way to work to walk around an empty parking lot of empty buildings so someone like you doesn't go in and burn it down or vandalize it or paint paintings all over it. Yeah. And they pay me make-believe money to pay for my extortion and my family for it. Because, you batshit motherfuckers are the Messiah. I got work to do. It wasn't time yet. Yeah. The military had to steal all my profit sharing from Southwest Airlines to make me completely economically vulnerable. Well, because I had to listen to Jesus, because John McCain and his business partners like Charles Keating are full of shit. And so are you. Is that a Mercado? Is that going to be the best shopping center in the history of the Valley of the Sun in Maricopa County? Is that a copper dome? Think it's protecting you from... Howard, why did you say that I'm your girlfriend on Facebook? Okay. Is that protecting you from me? Everybody got your foil? You got to get your aluminum foil, put it on your head. Don't talk to Parsons. Talk to Parsons. I will help you. I will help you get out of your head and realize that they are playing you and using you, and that you have Stockholm syndrome into violent sex cult activity, and your brain isn't functioning too good because you're trying to save people in your family that have violent sex cult type activity addiction like I have in my family. You know what I'm saying? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, Earl. That money's an invention used by the evil to get the stupid to do evil. Okay, forgive debt and trespass, love one another. Where'd you hear that? It's in the Bible. Just because I didn't say it the way it's written in the Bible, but then again, I don't talk people into mass murdering it over money and then say, hey, we need to disarm artificial intelligence. Disarm it. Disarm it. Okay. Just forgive debt and trespass. You won't have to worry about anybody coming in with weapons to steal all the money in your bank, dumbass. Maybe you're not thinking too good because you wear a dress everywhere you go. Me, I usually wear sweats or shorts. Shorts or sweats. When I go to family events to show up, which I don't show up for anymore because they won't let me talk about us all living in the Lord's Prayer without fear, I wear pants or slacks. It's usually pants. I don't really have slacks. One of my goals is to get back into my Dickies work pants that I had when I was helping save girls from human trafficking and Los Fiesta Foods just about all by myself because everybody else just sit around and watch the COVID and what happened there. And then girls go to where, hey, sisters are doing it for themselves. We control who pays access to us sexually, and no one has to have sex with us. We can do it on social media where they can get the girlfriend experience through virtual presence of masturbation instead of actual having physical sex that could cause sexually transmitted disease. Just forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal faithful peace, and then save your sexuality for a person who's worthy of intimately being protected by you because they protect you with, like me with Lon, Steffi and Amy and everybody else, and the boat ride bedroom. We all know how beautiful Earl is at protecting people that way. And Stephen Abraham's dad, protects Natalie better than I protect Natalie in that trailer after Amy left, trying to keep Natalie at home so she could keep her siblings safe with LaVon. And I was desperate. I was trying to find any way to just keep her at home and not have her mad at me because I turned her down because I raised her as my daughter and not my wife because the Ford had other plans for us. Oh, you know exactly what you fucking did. You know exactly what happened in the boat red bedroom. Hillary Clinton knows. Joe Biden knows. And anybody else who is a business partner with those people knows exactly what happened. A business partner with those people. Yeah, a business partner. A political contributor to their business operations. Those girls showed up at the Epstein parties because they wanted to get a part in movies because they were sexy enough to get a part in movies by using their sexuality to get a part in movies to become rich by not living the Lord's Prayer. That's what happens. If you're caught in that world, stand up for the Lord's Prayer and I can protect you. If you can't do it publicly, make sure you're thinking it and saying it and telling it to everybody privately you can that's caught in that world that can't say anything publicly like Earl does. Okay. Gotcha? Okay. Vroom, vroom. I'm as happy as a tornado in a trailer park. I'm just kidding around. Life is a highway. Park all those cars. Stop heart disease. Stop cancer. Stop having to take drugs because you live in a stressful, toxic environment through extortion and exploitation. The 6 o'clock already, I was just in the middle of the dream. I was living the Lord's Prayer by a crystal blue Maui stream, right? Okay, guys, I love you. Okay. I know, you're getting better at it. I know I do most of the work. Of course I do most of the work. I'm the Messiah for crying out loud. And you are weak, but he is strong. So, okay, I love you. All right, peace out, man.